How about something completely different? There's a long story that goes with this, but I'm not going to bore you with all of it. When I was a kid, we would go to the beach during the summer. Several families would go. Mom would bring like a 1-gallon thermos of iced coffee for the adults, and the kids got Kool-Aid. Every once in a while, she'd let us have a little bit of the iced coffee. I love it. I love iced coffee. And I make it every summer, but I usually make it using hot coffee that I then cool down and so forth. Just recently, I learned how to do cold brewed coffee. Who knew? They've been doing it for a long time, but it's taken me a lot longer to figure it out. So that's what I want to do today. I want to make some cold brewed coffee that I'm going to use to make my iced coffee. So let's get started. I'm using this jar, which is actually too small. You'll see how I compensate for that in a minute. If you have a larger jar, use that. And I have here 80 grams of ground coffee. This comes to just 1 cup by volume. Pour that into the jar. I have here 4 cups of room temperature water. That's about 1 liter. I need 6 cups, 1.4 liters, but my jar won't hold that much. Pour the water into the jar. Give it a stir to wet all the ground ingredients. Cover it and place it in the refrigerator for 24 hours. You might see this little label on top. That is to remind me to add 2 cups of water later. You probably know what it's like trying to dissolve granulated sugar into an ice-cold beverage. You stir and stir. I'm going to make a simple syrup of water and sugar. Essentially, you're pre-dissolving the sugar for your iced coffee. I'm heating a small saucepan into which I'm pouring 1 cup, 240 milliliters of water, to which I'm adding 1 1/2 cups, 300 grams of granulated sugar. Stir as the water heats up. You don't need to bring the mixture to a boil. You only need to heat it until all the sugar is dissolved. Then remove it from the heat and let it cool. I'm using this convenient little bottle for my simple syrup. It isn't quite large enough, but that's okay. In the refrigerator, I have another little bottle for the excess. Put a cork or other stopper in the bottle and store this in the refrigerator. And that's my simple syrup. It should keep for several weeks. Here we are, 24 hours later. This is my cold brewed coffee, which now needs to be filtered. I took all the top stuff off the jar because it's cold and condensation makes it slippery. I don't want to drop it. I usually do this in the sink so that if something spills, it won't make a mess of my kitchen. I placed a coffee filter in a strainer, and I'm using a bowl so that it's less likely to spill. I use this bottle for my cold brewed coffee. It's plenty large enough, 1.75 liters, more than 7 cups. Pour in enough of the coffee to fill the filter without it overflowing, and then allow it to drain, which will take several minutes. I'll use a second filter later to drain the remaining coffee. I'm ready to pour the first batch of my cold brewed coffee into my bottle. Use a funnel. Pour your filtered coffee into your storage bottle, then filter the remaining coffee using a new filter. The grounds don't hold much. You can discard those. I'm ready to finish up here. Here is my cold brewed coffee. Remember that little label on the jar lid? Add 2 cups of water. Again, I did that because my jar wouldn't hold 6 cups when I started. So I'm adding 2 cups of water to dilute my coffee to the concentration I like. Store this in the refrigerator. It'll keep for weeks. I use a little 1 cup, about 240 milliliters, drinks glass for my iced coffee. Add a couple ice cubes, some cold brewed coffee, a little simple syrup to sweeten it up a bit, and maybe a little more coffee. And then finally I add a little splash of milk because I like it this way. Give it a stir and it's ready to enjoy. So there's my iced coffee. I love this stuff. I mean, it's still winter. Spring is a few weeks away. No, a few days away. It's on my calendar. Today's the 11th. The spring is on the 20th. Okay, so it's that 10 days away. But still we have to get through spring before we get to the warm days of summer. But I'm going to enjoy these in summer. Oh, I love iced coffee. So excuse me, I'm going to go enjoy my iced coffee.